Well, everyone, welcome back. So it does look as though we've got a date for the Year 5 Season 1 Broken Wings update starting on June 8th. So that is a week Tuesday. As you can see from this tweet from the official Division 2 Twitter page here, it says, to update dates for Season 11 conclusion, we'll be taking the Division 2 servers down for scheduled maintenance tomorrow, May 30th, at the usual times, 9:30 AM CEST, etc. Estimated downtime is 3 hours. So, Broken Wings, Season 1, Year 5. This is the first season of a year where they've massively effectively got their full team. Sure, it doesn't quite have the same resources and the amount of people that worked on the game initially, but in terms of what they wanted in order to keep developing the Division 2, they have a full team. So I'm actually expecting quite a lot from the Division 2 going into Year 5. Maybe not so much for the first 3 seasons, but certainly the last season of Year 5, which we'll get to in a moment. So let's just get to it now. This is the roadmap. You guys have probably seen this before. First season, Broken Wings. We get the new Descent game mode, castle rebuild, and then we've also got, it says, a parallel event. Of course, we should expect a parallel event. In terms of how the seasons are going to work, I think it's going to be very similar to what we've experienced over the last year or two, where we're going to get, 4 manhunt targets and then a main target. You're going to have your parallel events, you're going to have your global events, you're going to have your leagues, you're going to have all of that sort of stuff. I'm not sure what the castle rebuild is all about. And we've also got that, as you can see, in Season 2 as well. So what that means, I don't really know. If that's similar to what happened with this season, where we bought back the castle, but this time we're just adding more stuff to it, then that'll be great. Of course, the Descent mode is the big ticket item for Broken Wings. This is the mode that a fair few of us have probably played on the PTS. If you haven't and you've been following the Division 2, then you've probably seen some footage of the Descent mode. And I do hope that they've made some significant changes to Descent going into Season 1, because whilst I think it's got great bones, and I've said this in my review multiple times, I still think there's a lot there that it needs. I think one of the major things it absolutely definitely needs, 2 things actually: checkpoints. I think every level should have a checkpoint. And also, the other thing that it really needs is rewards, because I do think that, from my experience with playing it on the PTS, the rewards are really poor compared to other game modes like Countdown, for example, where you can go and count down for 15 minutes and you can get 40 items. The incentive for Descent mode, it wasn't quite there in terms of rewards. And this is a looter shooter game. Some people might say, well, it doesn't really matter about the rewards because it's about the experience, kind of how Survival was in the Division 1. And whilst in some ways I would agree, Descent mode isn't Survival. It's not even close to what Survival could achieve without rewards. And ultimately, Survival did die because it didn't have rewards, or certainly didn't give you rewards for the time that you invested in the mode. So I think Descent mode needs more rewards in order to keep people playing, and so I really hope they've looked into that. In terms of Broken Wings, I think I was going to make a video talking about what each season could be referring to based on the title of each season. Broken Wings, to me, especially after what we've just seen with this season, is, we've lost the White House, effectively. Well, we've got it back, but it's been destroyed or it's been attacked. People have been kidnapped. I can't remember who it was. Manny has been kidnapped, and ultimately, we've seen the power of our enemies here and what they can achieve. And so Broken Wings to me is almost like a fall from grace, and us kind of realizing that, okay, yeah, we're pretty strong, but actually we've got some big weaknesses here, and we need to get back on the treadmill and get back at our enemies here. So that's what I think Broken Wings, the story, is going to be about. It's going to be about going, getting back, picking ourselves back up and getting back out there, and ultimately tracking down Natalia Sokolova. And moving on, we've got Puppeteers, Vanguard, Black Diamond. What I have noticed with this season, Season 1 of Year 5, is that I've seen no leaks about the story going into Year 5, which is something that we usually get from a PTS. I've seen no leaks whatsoever about the story for Year 5. That's not to say that we won't get leaks at some point, but normally it's in the PTS. We didn't get it in the PTS, and I've been looking because for some reason I like to spoil myself. So I'm actually excited because I've got no idea what the story is for season 1, year 5. But just moving on, just quickly, just going to go on the quickly on the Trello board here, guys, just to show you what's been going on. I know that people have made quite a few videos about this one over here, backlog, and I can understand why. Backlog is effectively, yeah, we're not going to fix it because this was initially like, yeah, we haven't got the resources effectively. That's what this basically said. They changed it to backlog, which is just a nice way of saying we don't have the resources for it. And some of this stuff is actually pretty impactful. Players unable to share gear or skill mods is pretty crazy. And we've got this mod one here as well, which is just really frustrating stuff. So yeah, people not happy about that. Completely understand. In terms of what we're getting for year 5 in terms of fixes and stuff, I'm not sure, but we can see some in progress ones here. Preservation talent can be triggered by status effect damage over time kills. It doesn't say it's ready for season 1, year 5. I would expect it to say that. We've also got the determined talent as well. Needs to be rebalanced. Manning National Zoo unable to board the monorail and finish the mission on challenging. Plan for TU 18.2. There is a workaround, but so that's probably not going to be for at least a month or two. And then it says the determined talent is triggered and cancelled by using damage skills. Again, plan for TU 18.2, so that's not going to make it for season 1 of year 5. They're investigating expertise and shade levels in non-invaded dark zones. That's been there. I feel like that's been in there for a very long time, as you can see, for July 2022. Stability issues for PC. Again, that's always going to be on there, but I've not seen it as bad as what it was, so I think that's probably a good thing. The radius from the Reinforcer Chem Launcher is not visible to party members as well. Again, high priority. This has been around for a while as well, as you can see. So looks like we've got conflict rewards revamp, which is coming for TU18, which you're going to be able to get XP that will actually make it be significant, I believe, as part of the Shade Watch or Season Pass progression, which is good. They're also considering adding exotic components and targeted loot. As you can see, for TU18, it will only be the XP rebalance. So components, targeted loot, not part of that. Global directives, I believe they're going to be active as part of raids. So you can put directives on raids, I believe. It says here, in some instances, the Season 11 Climax mission cannot be completed. There is a workaround for that. So that was unbelievably frustrating. I could not get past that. I followed everyone's tips about to do it. And then when I made a video on it, I did it. So that's just what it is. The metalhead drops, as far as that's already been done. And then we've got the resource convoy exploit gain reduction has been reverted, but will be changed again with the XP revamp, which is coming, I believe, with year 5 season 1. I think someone on Twitter, actually on Reddit, did like a whole spreadsheet about what's going to be the most rewarding activity, and there will always be the most rewarding activity, but the disparity that there's been in this game for so long with XP has been crazy. So what they've tried to do is balance it more, and that's a good thing, because I like to play control points, but when I'm doing seasons and trying to get my season levels up, there's no point. It's just a waste of time. Might as well just hit up those resource convoys, because they're by far the easiest, the quickest way to get XP. So if they can balance it so that control points, maybe the time invested there is better, then I'll probably do control points, because I enjoy that activity more. The resource convoy one is just pretty boring. But that's it, guys. There we go. That's it for today's video. Just wanted to do a quick roundup of stuff that's going on. Broken Wings Year 5 Season 1 coming on June 8th, so a week Tuesday. I am going to be doing my best to get that off work and getting you guys some content, because I'm very excited for this. Very excited to see what the story's doing. Very excited to see what the changes they've made to the Descent mode. And just overall, just very excited to play some more Division 2, because since I've beat the Manhunt on this year, for this season, I basically haven't played that much, because this kind of season almost feels like it's there's not been a whole lot going on. So very excited for year 5. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Until next one, there we go.